when you are participating in crime in these streets, do not cooperate with law enforcement, period. Young Thugger has been revealed as what we call a snitch. Now, for those of you who don't really know what's going on, we already know Young Thug so-called beat his case, which he didn't, because he caught 15 years. He just caught 15 years just able to roam on the streets or whatever. He's just not locked up. So really he did not beat his case. But upon release, he started calling Gunna a snitch. And we already know why he was calling Gunna a snitch. We already know why. But here's the kicker. Now there's been a interrogation review. It's been released of Young Thug in the interrogation room, snitching, talking, telling, being a chatty patty, as what most like to call or assume. So here's the deal. As you heard in the intro, when you are in these streets, a lot of people, especially these new up and coming street guys that don't understand what it is to be a snitch and why back in the day people were so hard on you. If you snitch, you would die. Back in those days, you would die for snitching. And you don't understand, even in a mob, we talking just being pulled over by the police and let go. You can be pulled over by the detectives and let go, and you'll be found floating in the river somewhere. This is how serious snitching was back in those days. Now they take it lightly. Let me break it down as to the reason why snitching is a serious thing when you are dealing with crime and you are dealing with the streets. For one, if me and you are into some criminal act, we don't even have to know each other. But I can find out something about you and I get caught for something that I'm doing. Even though you're not an enemy, you're not a friend, I don't even really know you, but I got word that you did a crime that they might want to know about, just to free myself. Here is the kicker. It doesn't matter if the person was dead and you told on something that that person did while he was dead. While he was living, and now that he's dead, they say it's cool to go ahead and tell that. Here is the reason why street people take it serious. If you are able to be comfortable enough to talk to the police about anything that's going on in the streets, it doesn't matter what it is. It's the fact that you are comfortable with talking to the police. So it could be any moment. It can be any moment where you would say, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and tell this right here. You could be, it could be anything, anything. But if you are a part of a gang, if you are a part of a group, if you are just, it's just you and a few homeboys that does crime, y'all are not in no game. Y'all just in a regular agreement. Not even in an agreement. It's just, I came up doing this. A homeboy seen me, he went in on it. A couple of other homeboys seen it, they went in on it. So we just started doing crime together. If I get caught by any means necessary and I want to be free, and I start telling on somebody that don't even know me, I start telling on people that don't even know me, but my fights are accurate because I do know of them. I do know some things. My ears has been put to the streets, right? So now that I've told, I'm now comfortable with telling. I'm now comfortable with talking to the police. You have to understand this. A lot of people are not comfortable to even walk by the police. Some people will tighten up just by walking by the police. Some people will tighten up just by seeing a police car pass by. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just by sitting in a parking lot or something, or coming out of a store and you see a police officer car pull up, some people tense up, they tighten up. You mean to tell me you've passed that level of discomfort? Not only are you not tensing up, but you are comfortable enough to spill the beans, like y'all just kicking it out in the living room, just having a cup of coffee and just talking, just having a warm conversation. Now, I'm not condoning on anything. I'm not condoning on the crime. I'm not condoning on not telling or telling, but I'm just giving you the facts of why snitching is serious to street guys. Why is it that just talking to the police? Young Thug told them he heard that such and such shot up the bus. He heard. Then he tried to clear it up and say, look, I don't know. Basically, I don't know, but I heard. You pillow talking with the police, bro. You didn't think so at the time. You thought you was just being slick. But you are comfortably pillow talking with the police. You are doing a he say, she say with the police. You are comfortable enough to do a he say, she say with the police. And then add on, I don't really know. This is just what I heard. How many times have you seen on movies, right? Because you know some things that they do on movies are factual. Not all things, but some things are factual that they do on movies, and they show you some things, right? How many times have you seen where a detective or a police officer have this specific person that they go to, that they know they do crime, but yet they know that they can interrogate them or sort of scare them up to give them a little information, threaten them. I'll put you in prison. You already know that I know your information. You already know that I know what you did over here. I let you slide with that. Now you want me to put you in prison, or you gonna give me some information that I need to know? And then that person turn around and say, well, I don't know for a fact, but I heard. You see what I'm saying? I don't know for a fact, but I heard. And then that detective or that police officer go along with that information that that person heard. Now what do? They go and start making arrests on that information. They go and start digging up certain things on that one piece of information. This is what Young Thug did. I heard. Kind of remind me of the song. I heard. Y'all know who I'm talking about. God bless the dead, R.I.P. But this is what I'm saying. You cannot be comfortable talking to the police. I don't give a damn if you ask the police for a cigarette. You're too comfortable, buddy. Hey, officer, I'm hungry, man. I'm about to starve, man. Let me get one of them donuts in your box. You know, just to kind of knock off this hunger. Guess what? You're too comfortable, buddy. You're not supposed to have any help from the police, period, because you are a criminal. You chose to be in that criminal world, so therefore you cannot get any help from the police. It's about the level of comfort that you cannot have with the police. Let's make this clear. So for all of y'all, from now on, when you want to determine who's snitching and who's not, think about the level of comfort that they have with the police. If they are comfortable, they are snitching. If they are comfortable enough to talk, they are snitching. Did Gunna snitch? Yes, he snitched. I don't care what you talking about, man. I don't care. He knew he was running with gangsters. He knew he was running with gangsters. And he knew that everything that he did was adding on to the finances for these gangsters. You was in on it, buddy. It's kind of like a crooked cop. If that police officer knows that these people are gang members, why would he continue to hang with them and give them money? That police officer don't have to do no crime with these people. All he have to do is just keep financing them, knowingly that they are criminals. That in itself makes that police officer a corrupted and crooked cop. This is no different from what Young Gunna did. Everybody keeps saying Young Gunna was not a gangster. Okay. That's like having a church member hang out with a bunch of gangsters. Yeah, I always talk to them about praising the Lord, but I still give them money. You're financing their problems. You're financing their situation. You're financing their criminal act. So now you are a corrupted member of the church. You can't finance them and then say I had nothing to do with what they was doing. You financed it. Now you're on stage saying what? Yeah, they criminals. Yeah, I knew they was doing crime. Yeah, I just want to clean up my act and you know, make up for allowing my talents to help further the acts of criminals in my community. So yeah, this is my statement. You told. You told. So yes, Gunna told. Young Thug told. I wouldn't say Young Thug told. I would say Young Thug was talking. Had no business talking, bro. That's what you got a lawyer for. You had no business talking, bro. You was already up. You had no business talking, bro. You done already admitted that you was kicking it with Birdman and all of them. You already had some bread, bro. You had no business talking, bro. Soon as they would have took you in that interrogation room, I'm good. Let me see my lawyer. You ain't gonna give us, okay, well, we need you to state your name, and I'm good. You already know my name. Let me get, you're supposed to be the hardest mother in there. It shouldn't be a thing that they can tell you. Period. No, no, no. You at this point, no means no. Take me back to where you got me from. No means no at this point. I'm not talking. Where's my lawyer? Not, oh, promises, and you know, I'm a, whatever you need to know, just let me know. I'll tell you everything. Anything you need to know, just let me know and I'll tell you everything. Too comfortable with saying that. You was too comfortable. Son, chills up my doggone skin, man. It ain't even active out here no more. And you sent chills up my skin. You was too comfortable, bro. So the internet has a right to be calling you what? A snitch. And everybody else who got in that interrogation room, I don't care who it was. I don't care where you at. Chicago, California, Georgia, Atlanta, Florida. I don't care where you at, who you with. Once you start chatting with the police, you are in a snitch position and you are a threat to the criminal world. Therefore, you must go. Those are the rules of engagement, right? Snitches get stitches. That's the rule of engagement. Now, if you want to be able to talk to the police all you want for as long as you want, don't become a criminal. Stay as what we call a civilian. Civilians can't snitch. Civilians don't snitch. Civilians tell. That's what civilians do. They tell. You know why they're civilians? Because they are law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding citizens. That's why they are able to just tell it. There's no such thing as snitching. They're not in on some criminal act that they have to keep away from the police. They don't have to do none of that. Everything that they do is law-abiding. So when they tell on somebody, that's all it is just telling. It's a citizen telling what happened. So what do you want? There's nothing else left to say, actually. If you are doing crime, do not get comfortable with the police. Period. What's up, buddy? Hey, yeah. Heard y'all had a basketball game the other day. Yeah, man. We were doing good, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Hey, man. Holler at me if you need me now. Yes, sir. All right. Too comfortable, my boy. Hey, what y'all got going on over there? What you and that officer got going on? Why y'all so buddy? What's good? Yeah. Well, you know the dirt that I do, so I don't need you all comfortable with the police and you kicking it with me too. Nah, my boy. This is the reason why criminals took snitching serious back in those days. This is the reason why a lot of people who would, like I said, they were just pulled over by the police. And guess what? Out of there. For fear of you talking. Because you know too much. Even to this day. Man, you got cats that, those Mexican dudes, when they get caught with them drugs and stuff, guess what they do? They want to be seen on camera not talking. Because if you come home after getting knocked off with all them kilos, if you come home, you're going to die. You'd rather get caught and go to prison and take that on the chin and say, yeah, I got caught. Yeah, Jose, I was another one that got caught. Yeah. You would rather go to prison than to get caught and go home because you're going to die. That's how they do it. That's why their criminal world is so strong. If you don't want to fall under these guidelines, get out of the criminal world. And stay out of the criminal world. Get away from it, far from it. But these days, I don't know. You might be good. You can hang out with the criminals and be kicking it on the other side with the police, and everybody know that you cousins with the police, and y'all be kicking it like that. You might be good these days. Anyway, those are the rules of engagement. Take it or leave it. I ain't not in the building. Y'all let me know what time it is. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Because at this point, I don't know.